Hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. So lovely to speak to you all. How are you doing?
Good.
Thank you, Sarah.
Maybe you can just give us a brief intro then to Bingo Hell. For people who don't know anything about this film, how would you describe a bit about the story? It's quite a wild one. So how would you describe it?
I would say it's basically about a sassy senior citizen who gathers her friends and the people of her community to fight against a greater evil that is trying to take over the community and also kill everybody.
Yep. It is. It's definitely a story of good and evil. It is crazy story. But like Joshua said, what's so great too is that the heroes are not your usual heroes. They are a bunch of senior citizens that take on a very evil man. I won't tell you if they win or not, though. You have to watch the movie.
And, you know, it's so original in that sense. You know, what is the impact of kind of changing up what we're used to seeing on screen, particularly in horror, and making the protagonist kind of this older generation?
Well, you know, first of all, I'm very happy for that and honored to be this superhero, granny superhero, granny superhero. Not all that, because, you know, maybe the people thought, oh, well, nannies and grandparents are only making needs or cooking things. No, we are people. We have a lot of things, beautiful things. We are strong. And this is, I think, the most important message for me. It's not only that, obviously, but for me as a woman, as a 65 woman, it's a very good thing for me.
And, you know, there's some amazing sets and scenes. Can you tell me some of the highlights and maybe some of the challenges of working on this film together?
There was no challenges for me, at least. I mean, it was just a really good time in general. Only challenge I would say is probably the Louisiana weather. But I mean, a highlight of it would probably be my favorite scene, which is when Mr. Big takes me as hostage and he's holding me from behind and he's just breathing down my neck, you know, slime dripping down everywhere. And it was so creepy. Like, I was just like freaked out. Even like in real life, I was like, what the heck? But I mean, it made it all the more better.
There was a lot of
For me
slime.
too.
I was covered in a lot of slime a lot of the time.
Yeah.
That was a challenge and it was fun.
Yes, and for me, you know, was the gore scenes. A lot of blood, and Mr. Big was fantastic, you know. And I as Joshua said, the most important funny thing for me was working with Richard and Joshua and this kind of action scenes with a lot of strange and a lot of every kind of things. I don't want to spoil the movie, obviously, but we have a lot of things, beautiful things, gore things.
And that's the thing, isn't it, about a film like this? Like, it's as much about the entertainment and the gore, but then you also have the characters, and it's kind of this, you know, low-income communities, the bingo hall, you know. So what do you think people will take away from it overall?
I mean, what I hope people take away from it was kind of what we touched on earlier, which is that anybody could be a hero. There's no age limit. There's no cultural or ethnic limitations on who can be a hero. And I mean, and just in our case, it happens that all the heroes of the story are senior citizens.
Yeah. And for you, Richard, have you?
What I loved, I mean, the whole thing that got me excited about it when I first read the script is because I've done quite a few horror films, and there's nothing I love better than a horror film that's scary, but also has a lot more to say. And I thought this, you know, when I first read it, this has, I mean, there's so many levels that this film has. One that comes to mind is gentrification, because I've seen that in many neighborhoods that I've lived in, and the problems with that. And, you know, this film deals with that. It deals with so many different issues, but at the same time, it's a hell of a lot of fun. And it's, you know, very scary and very gory. So it's perfect for me, that kind of horror film. That's what I love.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, for me, it's a movie with a lot of levels because, for example, as Richard told, gentrification is Mr. Big. It's not only someone who wants to take out and to fall down the buildings. Mr. Big is this kind of force who wants to disappear the older things, the older people. I think it's a so clever movie. I'm really happy with the Gigi Saul Guerrero, the co-writer and director, because, and everybody who made this movie, because it's not only a horror movie. Blumhouse and Amazon are really clever to mix these kind of things. It's not only this movie that you scream or wants to and something like that. It's a lot of levels, a lot of message in this kind of movies.
Well, I think I'm out of time, but thank you so much for sharing all that insight with me. And people are in for a wild ride. I can definitely see that.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for your time. Cheers. Bye.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.